Dalam rangka mendukung penyiapan digital talent nasional dan kesiapan inovasi bangsa, maka Telkom menghadirkan Indonesia Telecommunication and Digital Research Institute atau ITDRI. Untuk menghasilkan inovasi berdampak mega dari digital talent yang dibina ITDRI, maka ITDRI memiliki 3 pilar penting, yaitu learning, research, and innovation, untuk mendorong terciptanya talenta digital yang mumpuni. Oleh karena itu, ITDRI juga mengembangkan suatu ekosistem dengan berkolaborasi bersama Pentahelix yang terdiri dari Helix Business, Government, Helix Academy, Helix Community, dan Helix Technology Provider. Kolaborasi tersebut dilakukan dalam rangka mendukung keberhasilan inovasi, learning, dan research. Peserta atau talent digital yang akan diberi pelatihan adalah karyawan dari instansi yang sedang bertransformasi menjadi perusahaan digital. Dalam prosesnya, para talent akan melalui berbagai tahapan inovasi, mulai dari awareness, prepare, ready, dan yang terakhir adalah mega impact innovation. Journey dari pengembangan program digital Amuba sebagai Corporate Innovation Lab di Telkom Group itu sendiri dibagi menjadi 3 tahapan, yaitu incubate atau problem solution fit, accelerate atau product market fit, dan graduate. Untuk mewujudkan talent digital yang kompeten, sesuai bidangnya, ITDRI mempunyai pathway serta menggunakan metode pembelajaran yang memiliki komposisi 10% learning. Peserta akan belajar melalui video learning, podcast, dan virtual reality. Lalu 20% metode interaktif, seperti forum diskusi, dan 70% praktikal. Para talent dihadapkan langsung dengan kondisi atau situasi lapangan atau situasi yang sebenarnya. Dengan mengikuti semua pathway yang telah dirancang oleh ITDRI, maka talent digital diharapkan dapat memenuhi target yang ditetapkan oleh ITDRI, yaitu hasil riset yang applicable, talenta digital yang siap, dan inovasi yang teruji. Melalui ITDRI, kita semua dapat berkontribusi mewujudkan kemandirian teknologi Indonesia seraya membangun daya saing digital BUMN. ITDRI optimis akan menjadi pondasi yang kuat dan menjadi pelopor dalam kemandirian teknologi serta pusat inovasi bangsa dan menjawab tantangan ekonomi digital serta menjadikan Indonesia sebagai kekuatan ekonomi digital terbesar di Asia Tenggara, menghasilkan inovasi yang mega impact dan dihasilkan oleh digital talent dan dibina melalui program ITDRI.
ITDRI, from learning to innovation.
a year. Advantages of cloud computing, or we can call it traditional data center and distributed data center. So the first one, we use it, is more flexible, right? Flexible. And then it is quick, it's quicker, okay? Just write I just write not all the long name, okay? And then it's more stable. Remember, if something wrong happens to our physical servers. So if in traditional data center, something wrong happens and all the services running on it will be interrupted. But in cloud data center, in distributed data center, it's virtual. So we can migrate the services to another physical server. How to do that, we will also introduce some details. But by this way, by this method, we can make it more stable. In peak hours, many people are using your services. If you just use traditional data center, is not enough for you to provide enough services to you. And then cost, right? Just like water and electricity, if you need, okay, you just apply. And it has a very important feature: how many resources you need, and then how many resources you apply. So how many resources you apply, how many resources you pay. So it saves a lot of money for us, okay? And so on, many other advantages. We also have another distributed data center. So for this one is intranet. You have to access your local data center with your intranet, your enterprise inside the network. And for cloud distributed data center, distributed all over the world. So as long as you can access internet, you can use our distributed data center. You can use our virtual resources. So it's also very convenient, okay? So that is a brief review about the features and advantages of traditional data center and cloud distributed data center. But how to make it? Why we can get so many advantages? That is today's topic. This one, local data center. This one, distributed data center. Last week, I think we also introduced two concepts: private cloud and public cloud. So, or someone you know, hybrid cloud, right? But all of them, they are the using method. The only difference of them is who deployed them and who owns them. But It is all of them. Architecture, how to make it, how to get these advantages, they are the same. So that is today's topic. Architecture. How do we get so many advantages from cloud data center? So we need to come into our data center. Look is architecture. So first of all, that is second. Second, let me draw a brief overview what is inside, and then we look them one by one. Okay. So first, that is our data center, or we can call it distributed data center. Oh, it's stuck. Sorry, wait for a while. Wrong. Okay. Well, something wrong. My computer is very heavy.
You can try again, please.
Okay. Okay. My computer is stuck.
Oh,
It doesn't work. Yes. Just wait for a while. Sorry.
okay.
Okay. Okay. It occupies too many resources of our meeting software. So it recovers. Recovers.
Write something?
Yes, yes, I'm writing. It recovers.
Try again, try again.
Okay, okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's work.
Okay, okay. Yes, okay. That is our distributed data center. What's inside architecture? The first one, we called it physical layer. Oh my God. Oh. Physical layer. Or some people also call it infrastructure layer. Here in this layer, we have some physical devices, such as server, storage devices, network, and so on, or some air conditioner, fire facilities, and so on. Main most important device in this layer is server. And besides on server, physical layer, we also have another. It's called virtualization layer. In traditional data center, we also have physical layer. We also have physical servers, physical storage devices. We directly use it. We deploy our operating systems on it. But in distributed data center, or we call it cloud data center, they are different. They become different because we have a virtual layer. Here we have a virtual layer. Okay. It's very slow. And then we have another layer. Virtualization software only pays attention to the technology, the local data center. But we have multiple, right? Multiple data centers all over the world. So how to manage, how to control all the resources together? We need another one. It's called schedule layer. Or some people also call it Cloud OS. The most famous, the most popular open source software in this layer is called OpenStack. I think you have heard that, right? And the virtualization layer, we have many different softwares, such as ESXi, that is from VMware. We have Hyper-V, that is from Microsoft. They are closed source. And we also have open source. We have Zen and KVM. That is, the name doesn't matter, just for reference. And for Huawei, we are based on KVM, kernel-based virtual machine. But we developed our own features. So we changed the name, UAP, but this one is an internal name. Only we use it in our department, because for our users, virtualization layer, schedule layer, they are not visible to our users. So they do not know this name. Beside schedule layer, and then we have different cloud services. So we have cloud service layer. For example, we have ECS. In different cloud platform, the name may be different, but all of them are the same, actually. The first one, ECS, that is the name in Huawei Cloud, Elastic Cloud Service server. That is, you can just regard it as a virtual server. So EVS, a virtual disk, and so on. But between that, we can see schedule layer, OpenStack, it pays attention to manage and control all the resources virtualized by virtualization layer to manage them from different distributed data center. But all the functions from OpenStack, from schedule layer, we need to operate by command line. It provides an open source website, but the function of that website is very limited. And we want many different, it's very popular, it's very beautiful and very convenient and many other functions. We have to develop by ourselves. So if we want to put this architecture into business, so we need to prepare to develop our own cloud platform. So this one, we have a CMP layer. It's called Cloud Management Platform layer. So nowadays, if you log into Huawei Cloud, AWS, Azure from Microsoft, and so on, they look different, right? So because all of them, they have their own cloud management platforms. So that is another layer. So now, just now I cite almost public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, almost all the clouds, they are like this architecture, different layers. Maybe some people, they regard these two as one layer, doesn't matter. Or they have another new layer, 6 layers, but doesn't matter. This one is commonly used, just 5 layers. And today's topic is about these 5 layers, and I will display them one by one for you. So now what you need to know is have an overview about all of them. Pay attention to what it looks like and what it contains. In this layer, physical layer, it contains server, storage devices, and so on. It's enough. Okay, we do not talk too many technical questions. Doesn't matter. But if you're interested, you can talk to me. Okay, so let's come to the first layer, physical layer, or we can call it infrastructure layer. So the most important thing is server. Here we take Huawei as an example, but doesn't matter. That is not only by this picture and not only describe Huawei. Rack server. You can see here, you don't need to pay attention to the name. Okay, that is just an example, but you can pay attention to this word and the pictures. You can see they are very thin, right? In the past, the server has a big chassis. Okay, it's very big. So we need to deploy it into our data center. And if you open the chassis, it has a lot of space, it's empty. So it occupies a lot of space in our data center. But the space in data center is very important. It's very expensive. You need to deploy many air conditioners, right? So we need save the space. So that's why we have rack server. We redesign the structure. So you open the chassis here. It's very thin, right? It saves the space. We redesign and open the chassis. You can find it has CPU, memory cards, and so on. All the components they have. The performance, they are the same. So if you have gone to data center, of course, you will hear a lot of noise, right? The noise comes from the fans of servers. And you may see many lights flashing. They are flashing. Some are green, some are orange, some are, yes, we also have blue, but that is used to location. Just we do not use it, we seldom use it. And right, so red means something wrong, okay? The lights also comes from servers, the physical devices. You can also find they are deployed, installed into cabinet. So that is cabinet. In the past, the big chassis, okay, just like this, we can only deploy some of them. But now we redesign the structure so we can deploy a lot of rack servers, save the space. That's why we have rack servers. Rack server is also the best seller in this stage nowadays. Some are very thin, so that is cheap. Some are bigger. So you can see it contains this one here. It contains more disks, or it contains more CPU cores inside. We also have high density servers. So we want to save more space. How to do that? Okay, just the same thinking, redesign. Okay, redesign our structure. Make, okay, design more CPU cores, more this one CPU cores and disks inside. And furthermore, blade server is a big chassis, but this big chassis is not the same to the past. It has many, we call it blades, or we call it compute nodes. So each node, we call it blade. Each blade contains its own CPU cores and memories. So actually, these big chassis not the same to the past. Okay, it contains many CPU cores. So it saves more and more space.
Okay.
Yes, and it generates so much heat, right? Just now I said you hear a lot of noise that comes from the servers. So we deploy so many. It's ultra high density, so many CPU cores together. Oh, it's so hot, so many heat. How to do that? If you need, you can use liquid cooled. We use liquid. It's fully or partly. Both of them we are support. Card, some FPGA card, and so on. Okay, you can use heterogeneous servers. And this one is called Kunlun servers. That is the name from Huawei. Doesn't matter. Okay. Kunlun is a mountain in China, but doesn't matter. You can remember another name. In the history of IT development, we have mainframe. It's very high, more than 2 meters. IBM is very famous about for mainframe. And then make it smaller, we have mid-range servers. And then we have PC servers, or we call it x86 servers. All of them, rack servers, blade servers, they are PC servers. They are x86 servers. But Kunlun servers, this, you can remember another name. This one is mid-range servers. It's more stable, and it has higher input-output function for this. So this one, just an overview, is okay. You do not need to pay some details to this one, doesn't matter. And I will also show you a very interesting website. I think not all of you have gone to data center, right? But don't worry. Today, in our class, Bingo will show you what it looks like inside. Here we can see almost all types of servers in Huawei Huawei products. So we can find, okay, that is Taishan, use ARM, you know, Kunpeng CPU, ARM CPU, Taishan, AI Atlas, that is GPU card. So we find rack servers. So we can find one of them. We can open the Tracy. Okay, what it looks like, just like this. Okay, air contact. You can see the right here, air contact. Heat sink to transport the data. Sorry, not data. The heat from CPU to these components to make it cool down quicker. CPU card, memory card, the main board, disk, and power module supplies, interfaces. We can see USB, right? VGA. And we can deploy network card and other more disks in this place. So you can explosion, have a view about all of them. Okay. We also have blade server. Explosion. Remember, each blade contains its own CPU and memory. So open it. This one here, this blade is this. So each blade has its own CPU and memory. So totally, this big chassis contains so many CPU cards. So it requires more fans and more power supplies. So that is server. We also have storage devices. So here, this one, it displays the centralized storage. And we also have another type of storage. We call it distributed storage, right? And in distributed storage, we do not use dedicated storage device. We just use the common server. So it can make our cost lower and lower. In distributed storage, we use common server. So in Huawei, we also have our solution of distributed storage. It's called Fusion Storage, and in the newer version, it's called Ocean Pacific. We sell the software itself, or software and hardware together. The hardware is common servers. So both of them, they are physical layer. And another one on it, virtualization layer, right? So what is virtualization? Just now I introduced the main difference between traditional data center and our distributed cloud data center. The main difference is virtualization. Okay, virtualization is the most basic and the most important technology in cloud computing. Without virtualization, there is no cloud. Okay, from this architecture, you can also find, right, all other layers, they are based on virtualization layer. It's the base. So that's why we introduce architecture. So from this picture, you can easily find, right, virtualization is very important. It's base. It's a basic thing. So what is virtualization? Actually, it's a broad concept. Today, we are talking about server virtualization. Actually, this concept is used everywhere in IT industry. So server virtualization means abstracts resources. So what resources? Physical resources. CPU, physical memory, physical network card, physical disk, physical bus, and so on, into another form. So what another? Virtual CPU, virtual memory, virtual network card, right? Virtual switch, virtual disk, and so on. So before virtualization, we use physical CPU, physical memory, physical network card, physical disk, and we deploy our operating system and applications on it. But this one, we virtualize, right? From this physical CPU, we abstracts, we virtualizes, we translate to another form, virtual CPU, or we just call it vCPU, virtual CPU, vMemory, virtual memory. So this one, they are defined by software. So this level, okay, remember this level is logical, is defined by software. This level, this layer is physical layer, right? Physical layer and virtualization layer. And then based on this layer, we get resource pool. What advantage do we get? Remember the advantages, the review, right? In cloud, right? Flexible, quicker, stable, low cost, and distributed. You can get, you can access everywhere. All of them, remember, comes from virtualization. So remember, flexible. Why is flexible? If you want to use more, you apply for a new. If you do not need, delete. So it's very flexible. And somebody will say, oh, this one, I can also apply for a new one, right? But it takes long time. You need to deploy, install your server, push it into cabinet, and then power it on, and so on, many things, deploy your, install your operating system. But this one, after virtualization, remember, it's logical, it's defined by software, so it's very quick. Later, I will show you in Huawei Cloud, if you apply for a new, only requires 30 seconds, okay, less than 1 minute. So that is flexible, quick, low cost. Why is low cost? Because we can occupy more resources. We can get higher usage, and it's more stable because it's software. So it's a very interesting thing. This one is logical, it's virtual. So it comes from this, it uses this CPU from this server. It's logical. So it can also use this CPU from this server. It's clear? So it means if we want to simulate, we want to run our virtual CPU, we can use this physical CPU from this server or another CPU from another server. So if something wrong, it doesn't matter. We can use another CPU to simulate, to provide, to support the same virtual machine. We call it virtual machine. So as a result, it's more stable. All of them, almost all the advantages in cloud, you can find the reason, the answer from virtualization. Okay, so that's why we call it the most basic, the most important. In the past, I just work in this department. I just write some codes about this part. So virtualization, I also prepare a small cartoon for you to have a better understanding. So before server virtualization, how do we do? What do we need to do to deploy our services? So we have 6 servers, and then we deploy our operating systems one by one. They are physical. They are based on physical devices. So it takes a long time. And this is our local, our traditional data center. You can see the space is so much. And then the usage is low. And then after server virtualization, we only buy one server, and then we deploy a virtualization. That is, we are talking about virtualization layer. This one, it contains operating systems, not S, operating system, and virtualization software. And then put them into virtual machine. Remember virtual machine. And we put them, all of them running on only one server. We get higher usage. So it can reduce our cost, and we can get flexible management and so on. Okay, that is virtualization. We have a brief overview. And the next, schedule layer. So from this picture, I think you can also find, right? Virtualization software only pays attention to a single device, or it provides some simple management method or a simple website, but it's still for a single, not single device, but still single data center. So virtualization is not only virtualization is not suitable for our cloud because we have distributed data centers. We have multiple data centers. Only virtualization is not across different data centers. We need a schedule layer, right? So what we need nowadays, the most, or we can say the only popular or the most popular open source. Okay, remember that is open source. If not open source, we also have others. Open source is almost the most popular software nowadays. So what it does, it controls large pools. So what is large? What is pools? We also introduced just now. Remember? Pool, resource pooling. So from multiple virtualization software, and we can get a resource pool. This one. from one data center. So pools means we can use OpenStack to manage, to control multiple data centers resources. So what is the resources? The resources is not only physical, right? It includes physical resources as well as virtual resources. So where the virtual resources come from? Virtualization layer. And it controls large pools. What is large? Distributed, multiple, many data centers all over the world. So we can use it. For virtualization layer, it only it mainly pays attention to a single data center. So that is OpenStack. It begins about in 2010, about more than 13 years ago. Interesting thing. Just like a story, I can show you. It published its new version about half a year. So each year, this one in 2011, it has 3 versions, but usually half a year, 1 year, 2 versions. And you can see the first character in each version is A, B, C. So I think that is very interesting. And last year, that is Yoga. And now, today, just last year, the end of last year, just September, February, maybe February, I just searched, it published its new version. It's called Z. And I'm very interested. Just this year, about November, September, they have a new version, right? But they have already used from A to Z. So I'm very interested about the new version. What's the name?
What's next year?
Yes, AA or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
AA,
that is
okay.
OpenStack.
Okay.
We need it. We use it to manage distributed data centers resources. And the resources, remember, not only physical, okay? Physical and virtual. And the virtual resources come from virtualization layer, okay? So we have small summary here. I think for some of you, it's a little technical. So here, I just cite a time for a small summary. We introduce 3 new concepts. And cloud computing, I think you are familiar, okay? So what's the difference? Cloud computing is all of it, okay? All of it, that is cloud computing. OpenStack and virtualization, they are technologies used in cloud computing. Cloud computing is not a technology. It's a method. It's a using method. It's a business model. It's a business method. But OpenStack and virtualization, they are technologies. And in different layers, I think from what I'm talking about and what I'm drawing, I think you can distinguish them. Virtualization from hardware to resource pool. So virtualization is in this layer. And then multiple resource pool from multiple data centers, we use OpenStack to manage. So we introduce concepts here. So try to distinguish them. And then the next one, we need a CMP layer. Okay, so in this one, CMP, Huawei Fusion Sphere OpenStack, that is developed by Huawei. It includes both virtualization layer, operating system, and schedule layer, OpenStack, all of them together. It's based on open source OpenStack. So we call it Fusion Sphere OpenStack. That is the name of Huawei. But doesn't matter, just the bottom layer. And then we use another one, CMP. It's called Cloud Management Platform. OpenStack, FusionSphere OpenStack, both of them, we mainly use it by command line. So we need a very beautiful, very easily used platform, unified platform, that is CMP. The name may be different. If it's public cloud, okay, just log in to Huawei Cloud. Huawei Cloud, the website, the portal, that is the CMP. If you deploy a private cloud or hybrid cloud, okay, so we still take Huawei as an example. We have a solution called HCS, a solution, Huawei Cloud Stack. So the CMP in this solution is called Manage One. For reference, so what is CMP? A system used to manage, uniformly manage data center services. Is based on, of course, it's based on OpenStack, the schedule layer. It looks like this, but this one, just for reference, is a little to some detail, but just for reference. You can see the structure. This one is almost the same, right? Very similar. Physical layer or infrastructure layer. And then this one, resource pool, we have a dozen jobs here. We have virtualization layer, and we have schedule layer. We have CMP is here. Actually, CMP is here, manage them. And we have cloud service layer and so on. So this one, usually it contains two parts. One is called operation portal. One is called maintenance portal. So of course, we use CMP, we use the platform to manage all the cloud, all the data centers. So of course, many things we need to do. So we divide it into two parts. One is operation portal, service center, how to create users, how to give you the roles, give you the permissions, set password, and how to apply for new resources. So if you log into Huawei Cloud, actually, that is the operation portal. And another one is maintenance portal. So this one, maintenance. So we also call it OC. So this one, sometimes we call it SCOC. OC is operation center. We use it to monitor the alarms, right? This one is mainly for administrators, just for me in the past. So this one for reference. So you can also see the line. Also, you can see the lines. This one, operation portal, SC, it comes from cloud services. We use this one to apply for new services. And this one, it has 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. So it comes 3. Manage, monitor, physical layer, virtualization layer, schedule layer, and cloud services layer. The virtual machine is normally running or not, and so on. Okay, so this part just for reference. What is CMP? Why do we need CMP? And this one, reference. In CMP, we mainly have 2 parts. One is for administrators to operation and maintenance. One is for our users to apply for new resources. And furthermore, CMP also provides an interface to our users. For example, if I'm the leader, I'm the boss, I just buy a new platform from Huawei. So, but I have my own portal. I have my own logo, right? I do not want to use your platform. I want to use my own. So usually, for business, the business platform usually it should provide an interface to NBI, right? North, to the top layer, to the upper layer of our enterprises. to make them design by themselves, give them interfaces. As a result, okay, they can just use their own website, their own portal to get the same functions. So we also provide that functions. So you can see CMP lower layer, the lower layers, infrastructure layer, virtualization layer, we use it to monitor, to manage, to control. And to the upper layer, we provide interfaces easily used to our users. That is CMP. So it looks like this, a very big screen. We can, that is monitor, change detection. We can immediately track what is running on, what is happening, or something wrong. We can easily find it. And we can get risk and identification. So you can see here, right? Oh, something is right. Immediately you will find, oh, maybe I need to expand our resource pool. Maybe we need to buy some new servers or something. And this one, oh, something. Oh, we have 12 critical alarms. Oh, hurry to solve the problems. So you can easily solve it. That is the function of CMP. If we do not, one more thing to share with you. If we do not have CMP, whether we can use the data center, whether we can use the cloud, the answer is yes. Of course, yes. But it's not easily used. The functions, we can also use command line, right? Directly to schedule layer. Of course, it works. But for business, for use, it's okay. But not everyone's are hackers, are coders, right? Are engineers. We are users. We do not know computer. We don't know that. So it requires a CMP functions like this. Okay. If you go to some some centers, you can find a very big screen. In China, that is many. I have gone to many different centers. They have a very big screen. So under the screen, many people just are working on their computer and then track what is happening. That is CMP. It also provides a very big screen, the function. So that is all in this part, the architecture. That is also our today, the main topic. What is inside data center and each layer, what it is. I want to show you, but if you are interested, you can search after class, or you can pay attention to some details. If not, you think, oh, it's too technical. Doesn't matter. You just know what layer it has and what it looks like. You remember, oh, bingo show. Okay. So select what you need to learn. After that, I will also show you something about the typical cases. So here, for distributed data center, or we call it cloud, because distributed data centers are usually used or always used in cloud. Amazon. This enterprise, I think if you work about cloud, you, of course, you are familiar about this enterprise. Amazon is the first enterprise to use cloud. In other words, just this enterprise, Amazon, publish the first many services and cloud services. These concepts are also released by Amazon. So actually, it's the leader in the whole cloud industry. It also occupies the highest market share. So all over the world. So today we just take Amazon as an example. And this one, you can see a world map, right? Distributed data center. So we have distributed all over the world. So here I have a question. You can think about it. So today we are talking about distributed data center. So whether can we use only one data center? We use a very big data center, okay? Just here in China, we just deploy a very big data center. Actually, the function, it works, it's okay. But nowadays, we are talking about business. We are talking about service. What is service? When I'm delivering this training to you, you are hearing my voice. That is service. You are enjoying our service. So if it's not stable, just now, right? When I draw pictures, it's not stable. So the service is not well. What is service? If you want to play in online computer games, oh, we are killed by the monsters. It's a bad service. So whether we can use only one big data center, super big data center, yes, we can. But for business, we can't. That's why we get the distributed data center. So if some people, some users from United States, if they want to get the just using resources like water and electricity, remember, if I want to use water, the water region, that is a logical concept. It comes from data center. So one region usually contains one data center or two data centers. If someone wants, it can also contains multiple data centers, but usually contains one and two. And AZ, available zone, it comes from region, okay? Region is based on data center. AZ is based on region. AZ means availability zone. So it pays attention to disaster recovery. Different region. The key point, different region. We pay attention to the time, the service, how long you get the service. It's quick or not. And AZ, we pay attention to disaster recovery. Different AZ, we have different power supplies, different fire facilities, and different physical devices. So if one AZ have something wrong, doesn't work, we can get another AZ still running. So this also solves another question. How to select our distributed center, right? Just now I told you, just select the data center near to you, but which one is near to you? To me, it's invisible to me, the data center, right? So these two concepts is visible to you. You can select region. Just later I will show you. Just select the region. Africa, in Africa, in Asia, in Russia, in China. So select the data center near to you. And sometimes they have different prices. You can also select a cheaper one. And what about AZ? One region usually contains multiple AZs. So if you have backup services. Of course, you can deploy them into different AZs. If you have two services closely coupled, they work together, so you can put them into the same AZ. So that's how do we select our data centers. And two new concepts, right? Region and AZ. Now, if you are confused, doesn't matter. Later, I will show you what it looks like in Huawei Cloud as an example. And we also have another one that is, of course, Huawei. Huawei, Amazon, that is the leader of all over the world. But in China, Huawei occupies a lot of market share. It's the second. Another one is Alibaba. That is a Chinese enterprise. It's the first cloud enterprise in China. But Huawei comes to the second. I think in the future, Huawei will be better and better. And Huawei always has a broadcast, sorry, not broadcast, has a wheel all over the world. And other Chinese enterprises, they mainly pay attention to the services in China. So for Huawei, if you in Asia, in China, you can select, right, the data center near to you. So Huawei, we deploy more data centers in China and all over the world. From the very beginning, we have a wheel all over the world. So we have the most distributed data centers all over the world of Chinese enterprises. That is some cases. And if you're interested, we also have other like Azure, A-Z-U-R-E, Azure from Microsoft. We also have some cloud platform from Oracle, from IBM, all of them. Nowadays, many big IT enterprises, they are doing a lot in cloud because cloud means the future. So here, I just show you two cases. One is the leader, the first and the best cloud in the world is the first and the highest market share. And another one is Huawei in China, in Asia. If you want to get a better support, more stable, quicker services, then Huawei, I think that is more suitable for our countries in Asia. So there are two service cases. Okay, and we still have the last page, the last slide. We also have another one, right? Another layer not introduced, this one. So based on CMP layer, we have different multiple cloud services, such as ECS, EBS, and so on. This one is the next class. We have another experienced trainer, Simon. He will introduce the details for you. But now, I just give you an overview. If you log in to Huawei Cloud, okay, yes, I will show you. So later I will log in, just 1 minute. Log in to Huawei Cloud, you can find more than 100 different services. So some of this, just now we just virtual server, virtual disk, virtual switch, virtual this, virtual that. But this one, how can we get more than 100 services? That is because we do not use the virtual resources directly. We have other use. So now I just give you an overview to services. The first one is we can divide them into 3 types. One is IaaS, or you can call it IaaS, infrastructure as a service. So what is infrastructure? The basic thing, the basic virtual server, the server that is infrastructure. So virtual server. We have a service called ECS. The physical disk, that is an infrastructure. So we have a service, it's called virtual disk. Just now we introduced. So we directly use the basic virtual resources, that is called IaaS. And the PaaS, platform as a service, PaaS, PaaS. It means, okay, it also has this part. So it's based on IaaS. PaaS, it provides more to you. For example, if you want to deploy, you want to use cloud database, okay? You want to deploy your own database in cloud. How can you do? You have two methods. One is you can buy IaaS service, virtual server, and then you install operating system inside, and then you deploy your DB application. Okay, it's fine. And then another choice, you can use PaaS. You can directly use, okay, DB here. So you do not need to buy ECS. You don't need to deploy, install anything. You just use it directly. So you can apply the DB as a service. So you find that is different to before. It's totally different. For example, we can use some coding platform. So if you want to coding, how do we do that? Test environment. But this one, this time you can just apply for a coding platform as a service, that is PaaS. And furthermore, SaaS, you can directly use it as a software. An example, today, the meeting, okay, we use Zoom, right? The meeting software. Actually, that is a cloud meeting. That is a SaaS product. So we can mainly divide more than 100 services into 3 parts, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Okay, the last part, that is all for today. And last part, only the last 2 minutes. Let me show you Huawei Cloud. So you can log in to Huawei Cloud and then to log in. Let me show you. So console. Oh, the network is not very quick. So we have a bad service, right? Because our meeting software occupies a lot of resources. That is a virtual server. Bare metal server, that is a physical server. You can also use physical server in cloud. GhostDB, we have different DB, okay? MongoDB, GhostDB for Mongo. So that is a PaaS, security, containers, migration, AI. Okay, you do not need to buy your own servers. You don't need to deploy your own platform. You can just apply for AI interfaces. That is PaaS, right? And so on. We have middleware, more than 100. And just click, you can buy a new one. Okay, buy ECS. We can buy a new virtual server. That is region. Remember, distributed data center, Huawei data centers is invisible to users. But another concept, region, is visible to us. So we just select which one, Asia, right? So if you are in Asia, I think Huawei Cloud is suitable for you. So you can select Singapore, Hong Kong. I remember in the past we have Thailand, but no, it doesn't. Singapore, just like this.
Bangkok,
easy.
Bangkok is Thailand. Bangkok is Thailand. Bangkok.
Thailand, right? Yes.
Bangkok.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I do not apply for all of the process, not buy it for you. So just show you the concepts related to our topic, distributed data center today. Okay.
Okay.
So that is all for today. Thank you, my friend.
Okay, thank you very much, Bingo, for your explanation. Very insightful, yeah, because you explained the layering of architecture of data center. There is so many layer here, and also you give us the tips how to choose the best data center. I remember that you suggest the nearest, yeah, the nearest based on region is the best fit for us. Okay, Bingo, please turn off your share screen. We will see what's question that already raised. So please, yeah. Thank you. So we have here some question for us. First is, okay, Mr. Bingo, you can read by yourself. What do you think about protecting?
Yes. What do you think about protecting data centers related to security, both from theft or damage to devices, from the dangers of lightning induction? Yes. So for us, how to protect? Just now, actually, I have shown you. So we have three types of cloud. One is public cloud. So if you want to use public cloud, you just select different AZ, right? So from this AZ and that AZ, I think maybe not all the data centers, all the AZs are damaged by the lightning. Yeah. So the only thing you can do is select different AZ. We have already provided this function for you. And another tab that is public cloud. The only thing you can do is this: select different AZ. And another one is you deploy your own data center, private cloud or hybrid cloud. So you deploy it by yourself. So how to do that to protect? That is up to you, right? Mm-hmm. We do not have different AZ, so we need different AZ. So we need different data centers from different countries, different cities, or in the same city, but with different supplies. They are independent.
Independent.
So, to protect.
Okay. AZ mean availability zone, ya. Availability zone. Ya.
Yes.
Jadi teman-teman tadi istilahnya barangkali ada yang agak ini cepat. AZ itu availability zone. Jadi kita pilih regionnya ya, region data center based on the region. Okay, that's the first question. Thank you very much. And the second question is from Devi.
Okay, what kind of security layer you implement, since you use many virtualization software in the servers, which I think is more vulnerable than traditional server? What kind of security security layers? Okay, and where do you build your cloud data center here in your country? Yes. For the first question, what kind of security layers? Actually, and please let me share my screen. Okay. So actually, in this part, we also have another one. This one, we have another security layer. Is from the bottom to the top. For example, nowadays, it's very popular name. It's called TPM. It calculates the data, the software data, by hardware and stores in hardware. So it's very safe. It's very secure. And more, we have virtual firewall with firewall, and so on. From this one different security functions, we can also find here the Huawei Cloud. You can also find many security services, DDoS, anti-DDoS, cloud firewall, data security center. If you are interested, you can click and view some details here. Oh, Singapore not supported. Beijing, I think Beijing is okay. So you can view the details about them.
Okay.
So what kind of layer? Actually, security layer contains all of them. It monitors, it supports all the layers. Okay.
Okay.
And the second question, where to build? Sorry, I'm not sure about that.
Ya, jadi untuk
Yes,
Dewi,
yes.
because Bingo base is in China, not in Indonesia, so dia nggak tahu mungkin nggak tahu detail di Jakarta kita atau di Indonesia di mana Huawei bikin. Jadi seperti yang expert sebelumnya, his base in China ya, not in Indonesia, so nanti kita akan cari tahu lebih lanjut ya. Okay, so that's the second question. The security is exists in each layer, yeah, from the bottom to the top. That consists the security mechanism. The third question, please. The third question.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for the insights. Okay. The Fusion Server Pro features also supports RESTful APIs for third party. Are they white labels? White label. Nice. For commercial use. Yes. Fusion Server. They just the name. They are also servers. So of course they support some interfaces. The simplest one is IBMC, right? BMC. We can log in to the website and manage. And we also have another one. It's called SNMP to provide the interfaces to the top layer, to the upper layer. And just now you cite RESTful API. That is another layer that is in application layer. Is based on HTTP. So Fusion Server, that is a server, is a physical layer. So they have different policies. So physical layer, the server, and RESTful, they are in different layers. So for me, I know we do not support. We need to install operating systems. We need to deploy our dedicated RESTful applications and then support, because they are in different layers. Not only Huawei servers, but also other servers. All of them, they are in physical layer. So they do not support RESTful. We need to install some software applications and then support to manage. But don't worry, you do not use RESTful, but you can use IBMC, you can use SNMP policy to manage, control our server. Okay, and that is the answer.
Thank you, Mr. Bingo. I think that's all the question, and we limited by the time. But before we finish, I need your suggestion. If everybody, if everybody should know cloud, what's your suggestion? What layer should we focus on, and especially for business people? Most of us is not technical people. So, what's your suggestion? What's the area that we should focus on? What should we learn? And please give us some advice or some suggestion about the.
If we want to learn more about this part, some suggestions, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, what we are talking about today is
Yeah.
some basic knowledge. So you do not need to pay attention to very, very detailed, very technical, doesn't matter. You can just to view some blog, or you can just view Huawei Cloud. In Huawei Cloud, I shared just for several seconds. Here, Huawei Cloud, you can, this one. You can also see many help more, I forget which one. So, is when I click, it changed to Chinese. So you can just, that is English. You can just change it to English. Okay. And in Huawei Cloud, you can see the help message. If you are interested to any service, so my advice is two things. One is just directly go to the portal, right? I'm from Huawei. I sell Huawei service to you. So of course you are my customer. I must explain what advantage to you we have to you, what the concept, what it is to you, right? I must do that. So just go to AWS, go to Microsoft, go to Huawei Cloud to view the service. That is some service if you are interested. And for some basics, just view some blog or some videos in YouTube is okay. Okay.
So the best way is to see the website and understand the concept of the service. Yeah, is it right?
Yes. Because I need to sell service to you. I must do that. I need to, you pay for me, right? So go to that. Will.
I think the most thing of our session is we understand what is the benefit of this cloud concept and also data center technology. Yeah, I think that's the most important. Yeah. Okay, Mr. Bingo, thank you very much for your sharing and presentation and all your answer about the cloud. So the cloud is not the technology. Cloud is the concept.
Yes.
Yeah.
Method. It's a model. It's a method. Yes.
It's a business model. Yeah. It's business model. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation and joining with us to discuss about data center and cloud concept. And we hope we will see you for next again or for next session and next opportunity.
In China, in every country. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Adam.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oke, demikian para pemirsa, teman-teman semua, sedikit pembahasan yang lebih advance about the teknologi cloud dan data center dari Mr. Bingo. Mudah-mudahan kita dapat menerima spiritnya bahwa kita harus terus belajar dan mengerti tentang konsep ini sehingga kedepannya kita bisa mengoptimalkannya untuk kita berbisnis di area digital atau di bisnis digital sehingga kita lebih siap kedepannya untuk bertransformasi menuju perusahaan kita. Saya kembalikan ke Adam sebagai host. Terima kasih again, Mr. Bingo. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Anne. Thank you,
Silakan, Adam.
Thank you, Anne.
Yeah.
Baik, mantap sekali, luar biasa Pak atas penyampaiannya kepada narasumber juga moderator kita hari ini. Sangat insightful dan menarik banget ya. Please give our digital applause for them. Luar biasa. Dan for Mr. Bingo, as a form of appreciation for being a guest speaker at this time, here it is a certificate of appreciation for you.
Thank
Mohon
you,
di-
thank you.
Oke, baik. I want to say thank you very much for the knowledge and insight of
Thank you.
this time for us today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Oke, terima kasih lagi juga kami sampaikan untuk moderator kita, Pak An. Terima kasih.
Siap, siap. Kami, ya.
Semoga apa
Thank
yang
you.
telah disampaikan tadi dapat bermanfaat untuk kita semua. Nah, jangan lupa kami akan memberikan reward untuk penanya terbaik masing-masing 100.000 penanya. Dan inilah penanya terbaik untuk hari ini. Oke, kepada Mbak Dewi dan Mas Vidi ya. Oke, baik. Boleh langsung memberikan nomor teleponnya kepada kontak person berikut ini untuk diberikan link aja sebesar Sahabat Expert Insight, sekali lagi saya ingatkan untuk sertifikat dan materi akan tersedia pada pasca acara. Link My DigiLearn yang terdapat di layar. Jangan lupa untuk memberikan feedback acara hari ini. Dengan demikian, acara Expert Insight hari ini telah selesai. Terima kasih kami ucapkan kepada seluruh sahabat Expert Insight yang telah bergabung dalam Expert Insight kali ini. Jangan lupa sahabat Expert Insight yang belum memiliki aplikasi My DigiLearn, silakan registrasi di My DigiLearn. Expert Insight bersama Huawei selanjutnya akan ada di minggu depan mengenai cloud business. Oleh karena itu, cek selalu aplikasi My DigiLearn untuk mengetahui update terkini terkait webinar yang kita akan laksanakan. Akhir kata, saya Adam Pranandia beserta rekan-rekan dari Studio POM yang bertugas pada hari ini pamit undur diri. Mohon maaf jika ada kesalahan dan hal yang kurang berkenan selama acara berlangsung. Jaga selalu kesehatan Anda ya. Sampai ketemu di Expert Insight selanjutnya.